Good evening, and welcome to Scary Bazaar. As always, I am your hostess, Miss Spooky, and today I'm going to be doing my first ever YouTube tarot card spread walkthrough. This is something that I've been kind of wanting to add to my channel for people who are curious about learning the art of tarot cards. Today I'm going to be using the Oricals of Shadows and Light by Lucy Cavendish, artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. She's like my favorite artist ever. I absolutely love her. And we're going to be doing the True Path spread from fablesden.com. This is the setup for it. 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now before we get started, I know that a lot of beginners think that being a beginner, you have to start with the beginner standard deck. I just want to say that's not necessarily true. I've been doing tarot cards since I was about 11 or 12, and I've never ever really used a standard deck at all. The most important thing when picking a deck is picking one that speaks to you and, one that you really connect with above everything else. And this one here is one of the easiest decks I have to interpret, and it's also one of my favorites. Right, the month is April, year 2021. I say that because if you're going to be doing tarot card readings, especially for yourself a lot, I do recommend keeping some kind of notebook where you can write down your spreads for yourself so that you can go back and review them later on to see how accurate they were, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with the first card up here, which is the card that is to tell you your true calling, number 1. And for this card, I got the Sea Beacon Fairy. It says guidance, but where will it lead you? And now this card more or less states that the path has already been presented before the person that you're doing the reading on, and it is up for that person to follow that path, more or less. So I apologize. As soon as I started recording this, I guess the gardeners that the landlord sent over thought that it would also be a perfect time for them to be doing the yard work. So I do apologize for the background noise. I was not expecting this. The timing was purely coincidental. Anyway, so what this card tells me is that the path that I have been pursuing for myself throughout my life, wanting to do the art and the magic and the cards and kind of have a social media presence relating to all of that. I'm also wanting to get to where I'm doing horror video games eventually at some point. That is, in fact, the correct path for me, and that I need to continue to pursue that because it will eventually lead me to the success and the life that I'm looking for. Which, yay! That's awesome, because that's something that I've been wanting to do since I was very, very young, since I first realized that you can actually make money being a successful artist and have a successful art career, when mostly my whole life I was told by friends and family that such a thing is not something that exists in the real world. Card number 2 is how I have been, or how the person you're doing the reading for has been responding to their calling. And for this card, I drew the Faceless Ghosts and the Haunted Girl. You see it says Ghost People down at the bottom. And this card is about trying hard to belong and to do the right thing and to fit in, rather than being true to yourself and what it is that you want to be and what you want to do in life. And that kind of does make sense, because I felt like I've been a little bit derailed from what I've been wanting to do with my life for a long time, and part of that is because of growing up and being told that it's not possible and that I have to get a college education and a real job and all this and that and the other to ever even have a chance of being remotely successful, kind of thing. Card number 3 are the obstacles that currently stand in the way from achieving your true calling. And for this card, I got the Angel of Alchemy, and as you see down at the bottom, it says Miracle. And initially, this card seems a little bit confusing being in that place, but this card is actually indicates a dramatic health change in the person you're doing the readings for's life. And I am currently 6 months pregnant. So that does explain a lot of things, and for anybody who's ever been pregnant before, you know it's awful. Like the first trimester, I was just completely sick. The second trimester, I felt pretty good, and now that I'm in the third trimester and as big as a cow, everything just hurts, and I'm tired all the time, and I don't want to do anything, and it just makes it hard to do anything. But this card also says that it's best to use this time to try to reprioritize and plan ahead for the future, because this dramatic life change will come to an end and things will be better afterwards. So I feel like that's also really good advice, and that's something that I've been trying to do on my own anyway, by using kind of the downtime I'm getting for the pregnancy to, do all of those things, and hopefully be able to get myself to a point where I'm able to do this regularly and successfully, not just the cards, but the art and all the spooky, scary stuff, the magic, the crafting, all of that stuff. So hopefully in the near future, I'll be able to get to a point where I'm more successful with it all. And honestly, time prioritization is a real problem for me when it comes to that kind of thing. So I'm trying to get better about managing my time and my life so that I can get all the things done that I need to get done and still be able to do the things that are important to me on top of that, if that makes sense. All right. We have card number 4, and card number 4 is about overcoming this block or this obstacle. And for this card, I got the Absinthe Fairy, Intoxication, Distorted View, Overindulgence. And this one's pretty straightforward. It's about, short-term gratification, addiction, laziness, that kind of thing. And, in a lot of ways that makes sense. It's like you've got to sacrifice that short-term gratification for those long-term goals. That's just true for anybody. So this card makes a whole lot of sense being where it's at. Card number 5 is the best way that the person you're doing the reading for can honor their true calling. And for that card, I got Out Trick-or-Treating. And this card represents finding courage and overcoming old thought patterns in order to pursue what you really want to do and be the person that you really are. As you can see, as we're going through this, a lot of these cards are connected with a similar type of message. And in my experience, it's kind of how you can tell if you've done a really good reading or not, because if you do a reading and all of the cards are really disjointed and don't make any sense, and sometimes you can get like a feel for it too, like if it just doesn't feel right, it doesn't make sense, the cards are really not meshing together, then you've probably got a really bad reading, which happens all the time, especially when you're first starting out. So there's no need to worry about that. It takes a little bit of time to connect to your deck and your cards and the ability to do successful readings like regularly. It takes a bit of spiritual practice, I guess, just like anything takes practice. Card number 6 is the Message from the Universe. And for this card, I got the Snow Angel. And as you can see at the bottom, she says the signs are with you already. And again, this card is, follow the signs that you've already been given. You already know what you need to do to pursue your life goals and your life paths. You just got to get to it and get started doing it. I was really happy with how the spread turned out. I enjoyed the spread itself, and the reading came out very clear, very fluid. Again, it was a very direct message, which I like. That's usually something that you're wanting to look for. And even then with certain little details, because I know sometimes readings can seem very vague, like they could fit in anybody's life, but certain specific details, for example, the severe health change, me being pregnant, you know, that kind of thing also really helps kind of solidify the reading as a whole for me. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you give this spread a chance yourself, to just give it a try to see how it works for you. That's about it. Just a quick little 10-minute video. Like, comment, subscribe for more monthly tarot card spread walkthroughs and different tarot card decks as well, because I have several and I'm always getting more. I love tarot cards. We'll see you later. Stay spooky. Bye.